This is a little video that's just going to run through a demo of our pre-season team builder offerings for both NRL Fantasy Pro and NRL Supercoach Pro. We're just going to use the same video for both platforms. The only thing that really changes between the two platforms is player pricing, positions, scoring, projections, but the basic content and mechanisms of across both are very much the same. So first of all, where you'll find our team builder is right up the top of our left menu in pre-season tools. And I'm just going to run you through what we've got in here. So up the top, we've got a predicted teams tool. So if you are unsure of what let's say, West Tigers are going to look like in 2026, we can pull up Tigers and you can have a look at all the different pre-season predictions that people are making. So zero tackles best 17, which was published in this early December for the Tigers, looks like this. Our own best 17 we updated on the 16th of December, and also our round one expected team, which in the case of the Tigers is the same. I believe they don't have any injuries in their main players at the moment, I don't think. So if you're a little bit unsure of team composition, or you just want to have a look at what a few different people think about how a player is going to fit into a side, it's very easy to just come up there and have a bit of a browse around. Our team picker keeps track of your remaining salary unspent. So we've already got a team on the go here, along with your remaining average per player. So currently, to fill out the rest of my team, I can average almost 407k a player to come in under the cap. You'll also notice here that you can have as many different versions of teams that you like. So if you want to build multiple teams and play around with them, you absolutely can. We can start a new team here called Demo, and we can either start that as a blank slate, as so, or if I want to just make some variations on this team, 2026 draft one, I'm going to start a new team called Demo 2 and do that as a copy of this team. And you can see it's just pulled everything from here down, and I can start messing about with it one more time. There are different ways that you can. So here's our player selection pane. Okay, there are different ways that you can sort players by. You can have them by high, low, low, high, alphabetical, which I don't really use. One of the really key ones is projected dollars per point, low to high. In other words, having a look at the players projected to have the best value. You can also sort by ownership. Now, at the moment, ownership is all 0% across both platforms. Once the official games open up, we'll start getting a feed through of what player ownership levels are at. There's different ways of having a look at our projections. So in here, you'll see that we've got 12 round projections, 12 round min price, 12 round peak price, 12 round peak loss, 12 round peak price difference. So what this means is that over the first 12 rounds, we expect Jeremy Marshall King to currently be at his highest price point and to drop down as low as 28k under. If we have a look at a player that's projected to really take off, let's have a look at Ethan Sanders, who we currently project as being the Raiders halfback. You'll see that we've got him projected to make 264,000 in fantasy at a average of 46 points a round. Now, we can switch that over to our 6 round projections, in which case we'd see him making 178,000 over the first 6 rounds at an average of 46.5. Or we can also have a look at whole season, rest of season. So we'd see him making 292k peak at an average of 45.8. Now, where those numbers are coming from, what I'm going to do, let's have a quick look at these hyperlinks here. If you can click on a player here, and it's going to take you through to their profile page. Now, we're just at the very start of January in 2026 at the moment. All of our player prices and all of our player projections are currently in. Over the next few weeks, we'll be starting to write out our 25 player reviews and 2026 expectation comments. And throughout pre-season, January, February, we'll be starting in fantasy to get through some other projections from people like Mark Jessup at NRL Fantasy Amateurs and some of the other fantasy guns that are friends to the page. We don't currently have this in Supercoach. It's something that we're looking to add in coming seasons, just when we find the right people that we kind of feel comfortable partnering with in providing their kind of takes on players. We'll be happy to put them up there. There's all sorts of interesting stuff on players here. You can have a look at their awards, accomplishments, bit of bio information. We've got their first class New South Wales Queensland Cup or pathways summaries. One of the new tools that we've also got, I'll just open that up quickly. We've now actually got a pathways game log. So if you're interested in having a deeper look at some of these up and coming players, we have Ethan Sanders' full junior pathways history over 2019 Harold Matthews Cup through to 2023 Jersey Flag. From there, 24 he graduated to New South Wales Cup, of course. Over here we have the judiciary records. Nothing for Sanders at the moment because it only counts NRL suspensions. Injury logs. Suffered eye socket surgery in round 4 of 25 to put him out for 8 weeks. And also concussion logs. Again, that's going to be pretty empty for Ethan Sanders at the moment. But if we were to pull up somebody like Wade Egan, you can see he's got quite an extensive concussion history. For example, 2023 round 1, he had HIA, which he was cleared. Round 3, HIA cleared. Round 3, also HIA last 15 minutes. Round 6, HIA no return. So if you have any if you want to have some sort of comfortability with whether a player is a concussion liability or not, you can definitely have a look in there. Now, where these round 6, 12, and rest of season projections are coming from, this is something that we're the only people that really do. If we have a look at players' forecast, let me just pull up player forecast, and we're going to have a look at, first of all, Tanner Boyd. Just going to put these to rest of season. Okay, as you can see, we're currently projecting Boyd as being the right half, playing 80 minutes, rounds 1 to 7. During that time, we expect him to have 65% of the kicking meters, and we also expect him to have the goal kicking duties. His strike rate, we've currently got down to 79%. We work out our strike rate on a little algorithm that kind of combines first grade recent NRL recency along with any New South Wales Queensland Cup history they have. And that all comes into how we project them. You'll see that we have him projected at different scores, different rounds. We've basically got a number of algorithms that look at the players' team's expected rank, also their position, also their opposition expected rank. So opposition expected rank, Sydney Roosters currently expected to finish top 4, we have him finishing scoring about 44 against them. His average goes up a bit against teams 14 to 17. Okay. We also, off those projections, track their estimated price moves and break-even moves round by round, and how much money they would make round by round going off those projections. So that's kind of a little bit of a quick look at how these numbers actually play out. Now, you'll notice some color coding in here as well. Just think traffic lights. Green, good. Amber, caution. Red, stop. Okay. Some of the other things you'll notice in the team column. Let's come over to our player. I'm just going to go back into our player selection pane for this. In our team column, you'll notice these three numbers and also some color coding. What these actually are the team's buys for the year. So Panthers buys this year around 12, 15, 19. Raiders 11, 18, 26. The colours are based on starting round friendliness. So the Raiders are in the top tier, that dark green. They're players that don't have a bye round 12, don't have a bye round 15. The three major bye rounds this year, round 12, round 15, round 18, are where most teams are on bye, and also state of origin players are being stood down. So the tier one, the dark green, don't have a bye round 12, don't have a bye round 15. The second friendliest team don't have a bye round 12, but do have a bye round 15. The second worst, they do have a bye round 12, but they don't have a bye round 15. And the worst being teams that have a bye both round 12 and round 15. So if you're looking to stack your team with kind of to be pretty like round 12, round 15, friendly right from the get-go, that'll help you out. Price stat is pretty much the player's break even in both fantasy and Supercoach coming into round one. There These peak price differences and peak price losses, again, they come back from the player's schedule. So that gives you an idea of whether the player is going to make you or lose you money if they kind of go along to what they should go along to. And again, you can look at plays in terms of a first 6 rounds context, first 12 rounds context, or rest of season context. We've also showed the first 5 rounds that the players have. So the Bulldogs, for example, have St George at a neutral venue, followed by bye round 2, followed by Canberra away, Newcastle at home, and then South Sydney at a neutral venue. So the ends neutral, that's if teams are playing, for example, in Bathurst or Magic Round. M for neutral, where teams are sharing a home ground, such as, the big venue at Parramatta or Homebush Stadium, etc., etc. Um, Percentage ownership at the moment is all zero. That's just because the game's open and there really isn't any data. Once Supercoach actually opens and Fantasy actually opens, we'll start getting there's some player ownership feeding through here as well. So as you can see, there's an awful lot more information at your fingertips to help you consider players, and an awful lot in our platforms you can have a look at in building your team as well. Now, the other very handy feature in our team builder is we actually have by first 6 rounds of player availability and by rounds player availability. So you don't want to, you can at a glance see if you've accidentally got yourself in a hole in a particular position with a team that have some early buys. And you can also see just how round 12 and round 15 ready your starting squad is if you want to have a big focus on that. Now, at the moment, a player like Payne Haas is actually showing as available in your middles for rounds 12, etc., etc. We're actually going to be making a couple of tweaks to this in the coming days. So, very shortly, we're going to have a little tweak coded into this where state of origin players, probably about 75% of last year's New South Wales and Queensland teams that we would consider extremely high probability to play in Origin, they will, once we code for that, actually not show in these charts here as well. So, for example, players like Nathan Leary definitely won't show up if you've got him in your squad as a half available in these 13, 12, 15, and 18. Players like Haas, um, Cameron Murray, Stephen Crichton, anyone that's pretty much got an 80% plus likelihood of playing Origin. If you select them in your team, in our team builder, they won't actually be included in these. Again, as of this very second, they are. In the coming days, we'll be coding for that and changing it. Um, I think that pretty much wraps up what I'm going to show you in this video. Again, there's a lot of flexibility in this. You can have a look at, if you need to, you can have a look at different people's takes and teams. You can make as many different variations of teams as you like and save them. You can make them as blank slates. You can start them off as a copy of another team and just tinker around to your heart's content. If you don't know much about our product at all, just having a quick look through our side menu, the sort of stuff that we offer you in our Fantasy Pro platform and Supercoach Pro platform. This is one of the new pages, our scouting reports. So, for example, let's have a look at Storm. We could see the player team's gains for the year, losses for the year, current injury list, suspension list, and where we see the opportunities coming. So clearly saw for Longos a opportunity at fullback, and also their right edge is up for grabs with the injury to Eli Katoa, with Joe Chan and Lasardi being the front runners in there. So we're giving you a lot of sort of summary information to look at teams there as well. We have these grayed out options: team planner, buy planner, POD radar. POD radar will come online soon. Team planner and buy planner will come on once we get past round one of the season's underway. We have player profiles, player pathways logs, injury and suspension lists, which are one of the most up-to-date injury suspension lists around. Players' game logs, analytics, all sorts of stats you can look at. Forward minutes is a very, very handy tool. I'm just going to cursory go over some of these. I'm not going to go into detail. But if you want to have a look at pretty much how teams ran their forwards last year, you can see at a glance their hookers week to week in minutes, their front rows, back rows, players that played edge and a little bit of middle, players that played middle and a little bit of edge, their locks, their interchanges. In fantasy, one of the really important things is kicking meters. So we've got a very handy kicking meter tool in here if you want to have a look at our. Ooh, let's have a look at Cody Walker. So if you want to kind of get an idea of Cody Walker's kicking meters, we've got his history here. You can have a look at specific years if you like. One of the most important things, you can have a look at halves partners. So let's see how he goes with Jamie Humphries. So Cody Walker's partnered Humphries in the halves 4 times so far. Uh, Humphries had about 70%. Walker had about 15. Their fullbacks, well, there's an outlier here with Latrell Mitchell at fullback, so we might want to just take him out of it, which is really easy to do. Put Latrell Mitchell in here, and instead of including him, let's exclude him. So he's out of the picture. So if we have a look at the 3 games where they had a spine of Walker, Humphries, and Dry Gray at fullback, Dry Gray did bugger all kicking. Mamazoulis did bugger all kicking. Jamie Humphries had a little bit over 80% of it, and Cody Walker had almost 15% of it. So that's very handy for fantasy players. We have state of origin backup summaries. That's something very useful that you can have a look at coming into the middle of the year. We'll you can have a few more videos. You can have a look at that then. Players break evens, money makers, losers, best buys lists. So this is already populated. You can have a look at players by positions, by um, all sorts. There's different ways you can have a look at those, kind of get an idea of who we see as the best buys to have. Best buys. So again, coming into mid-season, you can have a look at players around their buy friendliness. We have rankings and projections, expert projections. Team lists is a very good handy page at the moment. If you need screen space here, you can just close that menu off there. So at the moment, if you have a look at team lists, this is what our current expected round one teams are. So if you want to have a look at how we're actually expecting teams to be composed and the minutes breakdown, you can do that right now in team lists, and you can kind of see where we see the value being or not being in players as well. Again, you can have a look at these in 6 round contexts, 12 round contexts, rest of season contexts. Um, don't want to spend too much time. Let me just race through. So, player forecast we have to look at, price break even forecast. So, if you want to have a look at how somebody like, um, ooh, let's say Lasati. Okay, so the first couple of rounds, we know that Trent Loiero is going to be suspended. So if you wanted to have a look at and these, yep, if you want to have a look at how Lasardi would go if he filled in and scored 50 those first 2 weeks, then you can see that he would make 79K and be coming into the third game with a break even of -1. We have a similar tool over in Supercoach as well. There's, as you can see, look, I'm not going to go through everything. We've got an awful lot of stuff here. We've also got player depth charts, and we've got players bias charts, which are at a glance very handy as well. Um, Teamo, player ownership, captain ownership, all sorts of team analysis that actually look straight at teams and your own team, actually inside of fantasy and supercoach as well. We've got a ton of tools in here. So if we've already kind of sated your appetite as this being something very handy to have, it's also very cheap. We only charge $30 a season the platform. And if you buy multiple platforms, the price comes down bundled up quite nicely as well. So I think that's all I've got time to really take you through just for this video. But I hope that gives you a bit of an idea of some of the help we can give you during pre-season and some of the offerings we've got. There are other videos on our YouTube channel as well that you can have a look around. And through January, February, we'll be updating some of those as well. We're constantly developing our platform. So there are developments that have happened in some of those areas, and we'll be putting new videos up for different parts of our site as well. Wishing you all the very best of enjoyment and luck for fantasy or supercoach or both in 2026. Don't forget, we also have subscriber cash prizes on offer. Our highest ranked fantasy subscriber for the season will take down $1,000 cash. Our highest ranked Supercoach Pro subscriber also $1,000 cash. And one of the easiest $1,000 you can make at the moment, our X Games. If you subscribe to both Fantasy and Supercoach Play both, and you have the best aggregate rank across the two platforms, you will also take down $1,000 cash. Now, in the last 2 years, um, the bar hasn't been extremely high. If you were to finish top 500 in both, you would, on the last 2 years, take that down and take it down quite easily. It is quite a tough challenge, that one, though. So thank you very much for considering our platform. I hope we've given you plenty to be excited about. If you'd like to subscribe, just head over to our website, and it's very easy to get yourself all sorted over there. Thank you.